What's up, ladies and gents? Thanks for tuning in. For those that are joining us live on Facebook, what up? And in case you are curious, so obviously you could see kind of like the border that I have if you're watching this on Facebook, or even if you plan to watch this on YouTube later on. There's a dope little border that I created, and I'm using this whole program called Ecamm Live. It's for Mac users, so if you have a Mac, I definitely encourage you to check it out. I'll leave a link to get you a little discount and a free trial just so you can give it a shot. But this thing's way too cool. It's kind of like, if you ever watch podcasts, you look at maybe a Joe Rogan or something like that. And you got Jamie, young Jamie, as like the producer that does everything, switches cameras, looks at comments, Google stuff, shares his screen. So you can do all that through Ecamm Live. And it's just a really good program to let you do all types of stuff. And you can add in transitions and add guests, which is what, hopefully we're going to do today. I'm going to get a couple of my buddies that might join. But if you guys want to join, I'm totally cool with it. All you got to do is literally just go to my Facebook page if you're not on it already. Of course, if you're watching live, naturally you'll have to go to my Facebook page and check it out. Send me a message, a DM, and I'll make sure I invite you to the podcast. And it'll be a little link that I shoot you over. Super simple to do. But before we get into today's episode, I don't know if you guys know, today's game day, right? Fins up. Can't really see this, but I got a dope ass new shirt from my boys at Patch Vibes. So check that out. Tua, baby. But the Dolphins are on a hot streak. So Patch Vibes is pretty cool. They're custom patch stickers. And they also have swag now too, which is pretty cool, like shirts like these. And if you're a Dolphins fan, great. If not, they have a lot of other non-Dolphin stuff. But I mean, why would you not want to just pick a bunch of Dolphin stuff? So go to patchvibes.com, check that out. If you use the code TheBerardo, you're going to get a discount just for listening to this podcast and following me. So again, patchvibes.com, and use the code TheBerardo. So shout out to Patch Vibes. Appreciate you. Fins up, baby. It's game day. So I did kind of want to rant a little bit, even if no one pops in. That's totally cool, because as you guys know, if you listen to the podcast, I use a lot of this time to rant and talk about, what I think is good stuff. Sometimes it's more of me like ranting and, doing what I can to keep myself occupied so that way my wife doesn't divorce me, because I rant about random things constantly. So, that's typically what I use it for, the podcast. But, today I kind of want to talk about, because it worked out well. Yesterday we had my mother-in-law over just for a little dinner. And, it was like early Thanksgiving dinner. We're not necessarily going to do like a big Thanksgiving like we typically do. We'll have, tons of friends and family, and, we'll all get together, and whether it's at, my dad's house or my mother-in-law's house, typically we have a large gathering. So I'm curious, if you guys are listening or watching, I'm wondering if, what are you guys doing? Because I see a lot of people still doing big gatherings, and, to each his own. That's totally up to you. But I'm curious how you feel about it, because me, I'm still kind of on the fence, right? Like, we don't necessarily know when this vaccine is going to come out, or even if I'm going to take it, day one, minute one. But I think it's important that we, weigh out the pros and cons of gathering with large groups. And, the question we got to ask ourselves is it worth it? It only takes one person, right? It only takes one person to spread that disease. And even if you don't think the disease is that serious, which, it's compared to the flu, yeah, you're right. I mean, it hasn't killed as many people. It also hasn't been around as long as the flu. So the flu has developed over years and years and years and years. And, it's a lot of it's prevented because we have the flu vaccine. So then my question is, I mean, if it's in the early stages of this disease and, we're not really sure what it's capable of, is it worth it? And I think for me, the answer is no, it's not worth it. Not necessarily because of me. I mean, I have, because I have Crohn's, I have a low immune system. So, I am a little bit more higher risk than like an average Joe, or Jane. But I still don't want to necessarily risk it for my family either. I mean, my family is all over 50. So, even if I get it, let's say I can handle it. What if they can't? Right. So I don't know. That's kind of my thing is I just don't want to risk it. Like, you don't want to be that one guy. My I won't mention who it is, but I know someone who has a boss, and that boss had a kid that got the disease, but they didn't know that he had COVID. So he ended up staying with that family member, which was an older guy, his grandfather, and he ended up staying with that grandfather, and the grandfather ended up dying from COVID, weeks later. Turns out he had it, and then of course he had to get under quarantine. This is pretty early on in the COVID thing, but just hearing a story like that and knowing somebody is kind of scary. Even if it's only 1 out of 1,000 people or 1 out of 10,000 people, it's still kind of terrifying. So I just don't know if it's worth it yet. And, has it been politicized? I think we all could agree it's definitely been politicized, but what isn't politicized? If there's a shooting, a mass shooting, or if there's a violent crime in one of your cities, obviously people are pretty much going to do whatever they can if you're in politics to maximize that exposure to ensure that they can take advantage of it. And that's unfortunately just how politics are. That's what's kind of shitty about, this two-party system. And I even did a podcast about this too, where, I talked about how it's kind of dangerous that if you're not on one side, then you get criticized by the other and vice versa. So I think we have to be careful of that, but we also have to be careful of, because you're on one side or the other, you let things like COVID, which I think is, again, pretty serious. You let things like that kind of get taken out of context. Is it politicized? Sure. It doesn't mean it's not a real illness, though, a real disease, right? It might just be that one side or the other is taking advantage of people dying and this illness, and maybe they're blown out of proportion. But again, it only takes that one person for you to contract it or for a family member to contract. So I would just say, still be cautious. I know that's what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to be as cautious as I can when I'm around family members or friends or people that are in high risk. And of course, I'm always wearing my mask and all that stuff. So hold on, I just had a buddy text me. How long would we be on? I don't know, like 20. I'm on now. Leave me alone. So it's but also too, and by the way, I should mention, so this is my first time doing a podcast live, and I'm kind of digging it just because I like to kind of talk off the cuff, and hopefully I can get to the point to where I could do these maybe like once a month, and I can actually make sure that I bring in people and I bring in some guests and I bring in people to talk, and we just randomly kind of shoot the shit. I almost want to treat this thing like a radio show, right? Where you can actually call in and, I can hear you, and you don't necessarily have to be on video. Like right now I'm on video. You don't have to be, but you can use your phone or your tablet. So this program, Ecamm, is really cool. And like I said, I'll leave a link in the description once this gets done. If you decide to use Ecamm Live, again, there's a free trial, but it's pretty cool because you can actually like bring in people and I can have them on the podcast live. And that's on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, wherever. So I thought that was pretty cool. But, talking about COVID and talking about how, people are kind of like either taking it easy or not taking it easy. One thing I think is important that not enough people talk about is the fact that you really got to make sure you take care of yourself. COVID, whether you think it's serious or not, I think it's going to open up our eyes a little bit and say, hold on, wait a second. I think it's important that we take care of ourselves, take care of our body. Your immune system is the one thing that can fight off a lot of different illnesses and diseases. And, of course, you're not going to get sick as much if you have a great immune system. And me personally, I've done a lot of extra research in this because I do have an immune deficiency, Crohn's disease. So that immune deficiency has had some challenges for sure. But, it's really taught me that not all medications created equal. Like right now, I was on something called Humira. I was off that. I've been off that, I think, since prior to COVID, just because that lowers your immune system even more. So, um, I had to be careful with that. So I haven't been on medication in almost 8 months, which is good. Again, I haven't had an attack, thank goodness, knock on wood. But I think a lot of it has to do with my diet and what I eat. And I don't take as many like vitamins as I used to, but the ones I do take are either sprays or it's from I spend a little bit more money, but it's from a good company, like maybe like an Onnit, Onnit, or Four Sigmatic. And these are all companies that, do third party lab testing and constantly test their medications and the things they put in them. It's not, obviously it's all FDA approved, but some of this other stuff that you buy over the counter, especially like if it's off brand, you go to Walgreens or CVS. I can't speak for any specific brands, but you can go do your own research and look at all the articles that come out to where, they'll grab, I'll just throwing this out as an example, like fish oil, and they'll take that fish oil and they'll test it, and turns out there's like 0.1% fish oil. The rest are just fillers and other oils. So you got to be careful and do that research, because you might think you're taking good vitamins, but you're really not. So I really started diving in and doing a lot of important research when it comes to that, because again, if you're going to put stuff in your body, you should know what it is. Yeah. So that's why I trust a handful of bigger companies that I know for sure their testing is adequate. And again, it's the important stuff, right? Like if you're in Seattle, you're going to need to take vitamin D, right? Because I'm in Florida, so I don't need vitamin D supplements. But maybe when you're in a state like a Seattle or something where you get a lot of rain, there's not a lot of sunshine, people have lower vitamin D deficiencies. Maybe you're going to want to take a vitamin D supplement, but I don't take that supplement. So I think that's also important too, is knowing your region, knowing what's in the area. If you have allergies, sometimes taking certain things like local honey is very popular. I know the wife takes that. She feels a lot better when you just take a spoonful every single morning. If you have allergies, you grab that local honey, and it just kind of gets your immunity to those flowers or pollen or whatever you're allergic to. And there's a lot of other studies like that where if you just give yourself a little bit here and there, it builds up your immunity to that. So again, just doing that research and taking care of yourself, but not just supplements. I mean, working out. That's one thing. Now that we got this new house, which by the way, what do you think about the new studio? Not bad. Yeah, we're excited. Still got a lot of work to do, but I'm stoked about this. But now that we got the new house, we have a garage gym that I've been working on, pretty much almost complete at this point, but I'm loving it, and it's fantastic. And I'm working out a lot more than I did when I had to actually go to like the gym. And remember, I used to work at LA Fitness, so I had like a super cheap membership. It was hard for me to let it go because I've had it for I think like, when did I start working there? I started there when I was 18, so I'm 35 now. So I don't know. I don't want to do that math, but that's how long I've had that gym membership. So what is this? Oh, Johnny Boy. Hey, what's up, Johnny Boy? How are you, man? But yeah, I think working out at home is probably one of the most important things you can do, even if you don't have a garage gym. That's totally okay. You're working out at home, but just building that immunity, I think, is important, right? You got to build up that immunity to not just to fight off things like COVID, but just to be healthy. It's really going to help you out to feel better. Just that sweat that you're excreting is, believe it or not, something that your body needs to do. And it's just a great way to cleanse your body. So whether it's, a bike you have at home or, something you have at home, or even just doing jumping jacks and sit-ups and push-ups, and you don't necessarily need weights, you could just use body weight. So the fact that a lot of people aren't looking at working out as something that you have to do for your health, I think that's a big problem. And I'm not saying you have to work out. I'm just saying you're going to feel a lot better if you do. Studies have shown that you're going to live longer. Studies have shown that you're just going to feel better. With all the stress and all the bullshit that's going on in the world right now, I mean, working out is going to be one thing that's really going to help you out big time. And I'm super curious of how you guys are working out. You know, is it at home? Like I do. I mean, I canceled my gym membership for that thing, but you know, and I think working out has taught me a lot, not necessarily just to have, you know, goals and change how we look and all that shit. I mean, all that's kind of a bonus, but working out really teaches you a lot of self-discipline, and it teaches you how to push yourself and to show yourself that your body is capable of way more than how you think. And it allowed me to almost kind of you find yourself, you know, any type of activity you do, especially if it's strenuous or, you know, any type of activity like hiking or kayaking or, you know, fishing or, I mean, whatever, anything that's outdoors or indoors that raises your heart rate and gets you kind of going a little bit. You really find out what you're made of. And that's the cool thing with working out is you can always continue to push yourself. There's always more things you could do. There's always new exercises to try. And it's always different, you know, if you want it to be. Now, you can try to do workouts and keep things the same and all that stuff, but again, that just gets super, super boring. So what I like to do is I kind of have like a structure. You know, every single body part, I know like 3 or 4 exercises that are my go-tos. And those are ones that I consistently do at least once or twice a month. But then aside from that, I still work out those body parts, but I do different exercises. But I always have those go-tos. So sometimes you don't like to like write out your workouts, which I do. But if you don't like to write out your workouts and plan things out, that's totally okay. As long as you have kind of like a base, you know, of exactly what to do, like a nice foundation of what to do every single day. When you go to the gym, that's one thing I've found out. But, John said, just had John comment. I'm going to take a lunch and then I'll hop on it a bit. All right, dude. Well, I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this, but, if you're still listening, we definitely need to play some Call of Duty today. That's like my main goal, is to play Call of Duty. And that is a big hobby of mine, video games. It's less and less as I've gotten older, but I realized that the times that I do actually, you know, work out or play video games or do a podcast, these are all my hobbies. One thing I did find out is when I do these types of things, not only do I feel 1,000 times better, but it's almost like it's my outlet. You know, it's my way to kind of express myself. And again, that's, you know, whether it's this podcast or video games or working out, I think hobbies are extremely important to really make sure that you can focus on what you got to do and keep things straight and narrow and keeps you focused, keeps you sane. You know, my definition of like a goal or keeping me sane is really just my hobby. You know, I don't really have goals without my hobbies. You know, you can always set your goals and everything, and you know, you might actually accomplish that if you set it, but you know, what's going to get you to that goal? And for me, it's a hobby. I usually don't have, aside from work, I don't necessarily have a goal that isn't related to a hobby. You know, like my goal is I want to look like this. So working out is going to help me look like this. And that's my hobby, right? So same thing with anything else is I want to make sure that I have my goals in mind when I could do that. So, hey, Jay, can you hear me?
Yo.
Hey, I got you.
Yeah. What's up, man?
All right, everyone. Jason Manchester, what's up, bud?
Good.
Everything's
Takes
perfect,
a second
bud.
to catch up, man.
Yeah. We always try to be like super impatient with everything, but we just
I know.
Everyone has to calm down. I think that's our big thing. I was talking about that earlier. Is could you hear me by the way on Facebook? Did you look? Everything look good?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm checking it out right now. Had to turn it off of the computer because I had it running on the computer, but then I also was hit the link that you sent too. So I think that was kind of messing things up. Yeah.
It's all good, dude. Camera looks good. Everything looks good.
Yeah, man. So what's going on?
Nada, man. I was just kind of talking about, you know, working out, your immune system, trying to be healthy during this time. You know, if you're gonna stay at home and not do anything, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Just maybe pick up some hobbies. So we talked a little bit about like, this is my hobby, working out's my hobby, reading, shit like that. But again, like having a goal in mind for those hobbies is important. Like just, if you like to draw, there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes having a goal for that hobby is just as important. You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Good goal. Working out is a good goal right now. Staying healthy and I mean, especially with people having to quarantine for so long and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, you kind of have to know. I mean, with everything that's going on, I mean, you just don't know how your body's going to react. So it's important to be as healthy as you can. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about it several times. It all goes into, your diet and what you're eating and how much you're eating of certain things. And then, I mean, all that stuff starts in the kitchen, and you just try to work in some working out and all that. And it's, it's whatever works for you. Everybody's different. Right. So, and yeah, I mean, it's important. I think it's more important now than ever because you let your immune system go now, and depending on how this COVID thing goes, I mean, you definitely don't want to end up with it. That's for sure.
No.
So,
now are you guys doing, cause I just had the mother-in-law over, but we didn't necessarily do anything big. It was just, her and my wife, obviously. And we kept our distance, no hugs, no kisses, nothing like that. But are you doing shit with, family and stuff? I mean, how are you guys dealing with that?
We are. Yeah. We'll have family over here Thursday. Yeah.
Okay, cool. You doing like a big gathering? You doing outside one?
Yeah. I mean, we're going to do what we normally do. I'm not cutting that stuff out. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not going to let it run my life, and we're not going to let it stop what we normally do. You just take precautions, but
I mean, precautions is the best way to say it. I think is it doesn't matter what you do because everybody's different, but as long as you're at least doing something to take the precautions, I think that's huge.
I mean, we'll sit 6 feet away. I mean, whatever. Don't. Look, there's people that's had COVID and they wear their mask, they do all this stuff to take all the precautions, and they still get it. It's not 100%. Just because you wear a mask doesn't mean you're not going to get it. I think that's a misconception that people have. Not to go down this road forever, but I think people they started hearing about wearing a mask and protection, and that's what keep don't get COVID, wear a mask. And I don't think it's true. It helps prevent it, but you're not going to stop. If you're going to get COVID, it's going to happen to you no matter what. So wear your mask. You can help protect yourself a little bit, but it's not 100% sure that you're not going to get COVID just because you wear a damn mask. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not saying don't wear it. I'm just saying don't feel that you're protected.
Yeah,
just because you got a mask.
It's just like anything else, right? I mean, if you eat nothing but plant-based and you're completely healthy, it doesn't mean you're not going to get cancer. I mean, you still could get cancer even though it's possible. I mean, anything's possible, really. We just don't know. So
you touch so many things during the day, and your clothes and all this stuff you got going on during the day with handling whatever it is, so. Right. And then I don't know. I don't want to go down that road. I just know that it's just do what you got to do. That's the thing. So, but to answer your question, we have people come over Thursday, and we're going to do our Thanksgiving thing. Probably watch a little football, eat a lot of food. Wednesday afternoon, we have some people that had invited about doing some kind of big football game and stuff. So I don't know.
Sounds fun, man.
It's the holidays, man. So you think everybody's going to stop shopping because of this? No. Hell no. So,
I'll tell you what, though, e-commerce and Amazon is going to continuously have their best year. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's convenient.
Yeah.
So if you want to shop online. Just make sure you order it fast enough.
That's right.
Make sure it gets here. I got a buddy of mine that works for FedEx. Man, this is a crazy time of year for them.
Oof.
Early mornings, late nights, weekends.
Man.
But so I don't know. What else is going on?
That's it, man.
Warm weather down there?
I mean, for Florida, it's, you ask most people and it's It's cold, but it's like 70. The high I think today was like 75. So lows have been like 60, 65. We had a cold front, but it was mainly because of the hurricane and we got those outer bands. So that, we've had a cold front the last few days. So I'm hoping it gets pretty nice over the next, I don't know, 2-3 weeks. Cause I'm actually, I don't think I told you this, but I drew up some specs and I'm redoing the back patio. So, on Friday, I'm gonna lay some concrete, build our own bar, little outside grilling area, fire pit. So I'm gonna start that actually next. I'm gonna start that on Thanksgiving. I'm gonna get all the supplies next week, and I'm gonna do that because we're not really. I mean, we're not gonna have anybody over for Thanksgiving. We're just gonna do kind of one-offs here and there. Yeah. And then yeah, man. So we're gonna do all that work, and I'm hoping by that time I can use this fire pit. I'm gonna build one, so I'm hoping I can fucking use it.
Yeah, I mean, down there in Florida, you can sit by a fire pit with a tank top and shorts and flip flops. Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. Roast some marshmallows. Do what you got to do.
That's right. We got one. Yeah, we do that.
Yeah, but you guys get like 40 degrees out there, no?
I mean, we get cold. It's up and down, man. And there's sometimes we can get really cold weather, but it could be 20 in the morning and 65 in the afternoon. So, we probably get, I don't know, a week or two of good solid winter weather, and the rest of the time is probably like fall weather, what other people would consider fall.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not bad. I mean, I would love some more cold weather, but hey, it's what it is. So
yeah, it is what it is. Shit, I'd love some cold weather too. I know the wife loves that shit. We love foliage, and I've taken her up north. Was it 2 or 3 years ago? I think we went. During this time, we went for a UFC fight up there at Madison Square Garden, and we saw the foliage, and that was her first time seeing foliage like that. We went to Central Park and did it right, and yeah, it was a good time, man, because we don't get that in Florida.
Yeah, I was at a fight a couple years ago up there in New York. I mean, I'm ready for events and stuff to come back. I'm ready to where you can go do that stuff, and go see some things and
preaching to the choir, brother.
It's I read it. There was an article earlier. I didn't read the article. I read the title to it, but I didn't get to dive into it. But it said something about they're expecting by next May for things to get back to normal. We'll see how true that is. I don't know what's coming down that they all of a sudden are going to get rid of this, or I guess contain it.
Dude, think virus, about that. The next May. That's I know. Isn't that crazy?
Well, yeah. I mean, what is it going to do for our business? I don't know. I mean, we could stay the same next year. We don't know. There's a lot of. I don't know how it is down there. Restaurants here are more. A lot of restaurants are where you can come in, do what you're going to do. It's kind of normal. And then there's others that you have to wear a mask to get in the door, and then you take it off as soon as you get to your table, which makes no sense. But that's how some do, and then others, like I said, are more just wide open.
Right.
And, but still, even at that, even though a lot of restaurants are like that, there aren't a lot of people in the restaurants. So it's not like people are flocking to them, even though you can get into them. So I think people are still taking that precaution. It's like, hey, I'm not gonna go hang out at a bar or restaurant to go eat food with 150 other people. So.
Well, dude, and that's my thing too. It's like, it's not even worth it just because but I'm different though, because even when things were normal, I would go to events and, because that was part of the gig. But aside from that, I wouldn't, I'm not a big gathering type of guy. Like, I'm done with the whole downtown scene and having 200 people and sit at a bar. Like, that stuff just isn't fun to me anymore. And I'm lucky the wife feels the same way. So for me, it's like not that big of a deal, but I could see how, some people want to get back into the swing of things, but I think things are going to change drastically for sure for the rest of our lives.
I think it's going to be an ongoing thing. I don't think the mask thing is going to change anytime soon. I think people it's something that people are going to have to get used to it. I think what it's going to be is you either wear it or you don't. I think there's going to be a situation like that where you don't have to.
Right. But then some people are going to wear it, some people aren't. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll always get those ugly stares as to, why are you not wearing it? But
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you going to do, man? Just like I said, it's like gas prices. They raised gas prices up to $4 a gallon. People complain about it, but you know what? They're still at the pump every 2 or 3 days buying gas.
That's right, bud.
So you're going to have to get out and you're going to shop, you're going to eat, you're going to go places. And I mean, people are still going to do it. They're just going to conform, even though a lot of people don't want to conform to that type of stuff. But
yeah,
you don't always have a choice.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right.
It is what it is.
Yeah, dude.
So,
well, hey, listen, I got my buddy that's in the green room, so I'm gonna join him. If you can, let me know how it ends up on the other end.
Looks good, man. Everything is looking good. So
I appreciate you, bro.
All right, bud. See you.
All right, dude. Later.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Monkey.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Dude, what's up, man? So for people that are just listening, this is my boy Anthony. Anthony, what's up, bud? Where are you coming from?
Washington, Everett.
Yeah, you just moved out there, yeah?
Yeah, about like a month ago. About a month ago.
Yeah, I like that hat, by the way.
I know some awesome company gave it to me.
Oh, shout out Rain Total Body Fuel. Don't you ever say bang in your life.
Sorry if the picture's not the greatest. I'm
dude,
on the Wi-Fi. It's not
the best.
So it's pretty subpar.
Yeah. Well, I could see and hear you pretty good, I think. It's not bad.
Definitely. On my end, I'm like,
oh yeah, you are a little choppy, but
let me take this off.
There she is. There it is. So, what's up? You sent something to Angel? He hopping on or no?
I sent to him, but he didn't reply back, so I'm guessing he's not.
Puss.
I know.
So, hey, beforehand, I don't know, did you tune in and see the live before you hopped on or no?
I was trying to, but it was Wi-Fi. Like I said, it's super choppy, so trying to get everything together. I was like listening, kind of got like a little bit of, hey, I'm trying to COVID stuff, and then the Amazon delivery, it's like late nights, long days, and that was it.
That's pretty much the entire podcast. That's fine.
Yeah,
no, dude, what I was kind of talking about was, so I'm glad you hopped on because I wanted to touch base for a few minutes with you on this because I know you're big into training and shit. So I was talking about with COVID in particular, and any illness or any disease or anything like that, but it's important now more than ever to take care of yourself and work out.
Definitely.
I mean, because not only do you have to take care of your immune system so that you don't get this shit, but let's say we find a cure tomorrow for this thing, there's going to be something else that pops up in 5 years or 10 years, or if you go overseas or you hop on an airplane and someone has the flu or has a cold, to protect yourself from just the common cold, a healthy immune system is important, and one of those reasons to do it is to find some type of activity to do it. It doesn't necessarily have to be working out and training and deadlifting and shit, but you got to do something. So
yeah, definitely. Even walking, running, just something, jogging in place.
Right.
It's just some type of movement.
Yeah. So for you, do you go to the gym? I know you got something at the house, right? You got the PRX and shit.
Yeah, at the house, the wife and I, we built a gym pretty much the best we could. Nice. And then here we're now, because of the restrictions we're in with the military and everything that's going on, we're pretty much on our Charlie schedule, which is no outside gym. So luckily we're fortunate enough to have a gym on base.
Sick.
It's good. I do go. It's not what I want for training. And they don't have the implements I need and all that stuff. But just to keep going, keep the strength up, keep the immune system up, all that stuff. It's good. It does what it's needed to do and intended to do. But I'm missing my strongman stuff and implements and all that jazz.
I bet. So are you? So do you compete? Because I see you do compete, but are those amateur styles? What level is that? How do you do it? Is just local stuff?
I am a professional amateur. That's what I'm at. I just started the game about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, on and off.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm full on amateur. I'm between shooting for middleweight, but right now I'm on a lightweight end just because the training, it's just been a little rough with COVID and
Sure.
traveling up the country, not even cross country, but and then having
Right.
to mandatory quarantine for the military. So I've lost some weight and all that stuff, so I can't cook all the food I really need and lift the weights I want. So right now
Yeah.
I'm lightweight, but usually around the middleweight class, and then I'm hoping to push for even I'd love to be pro, but that's a rough road. But just
Yeah.
kind of getting to more meets around the state and or country if I can.
Yeah, man. I mean, you even look at we just had the strongman here in Bradenton. You know,
Yeah,
that was our event, Rain Body Fuel, and I
yeah, beautiful.
even yeah, it was gorgeous. And even with you know, because I have partners that run that, and there was the guidelines were so strict now, especially because of COVID. Because I mean, you know how it is to train for strongman. I mean, there's so much shit that you have to do and to maintain your body and your health. So there, once you get to the strongman, like if I was to go, which I obviously chose not to, because we have a team out there that was running it just fine without me, but they had to get stuck in a hotel and they had to only take buses that the strongman competition supplied. They get tested. They get tested every day, and then once they did anything like outside of it, it had to be within that like genre of the strongman employees, and then they had to get tested with if they went back. So it was like a whole weekend of pretty much just quarantine and seclusion. And
I watched some videos and stuff, and they were doing like rapid testings, and they were like, "All right, cool, you're
you're
good." And then
good.
some people were like coming off with like false positives, and then like, I just tested the big one where I was negative, and I'm positive, and so they're
Yeah.
just it was a huge scramble. And I think the strongman community, strongman corporation, all of them did a great job with it, from what I saw on our end of this the TV screen and everything else, and kind of the behind the scenes. But they did their
Yeah.
best with what they had, and I don't think anyone really contracted COVID from anyone. Like if you
Not that
did
I
fully
heard.
test
Yeah.
positive, they were like, "See ya, you're out."
Yep.
But
Yeah, they maintained it. And I think that it's shitty to say, but I mean, that might be what the future of events is, at least until even when they come up with a vaccine for this. But I was kind of talking about this earlier before you came on. I was kind of, as we're getting hopefully towards the end of this thing, I'm thinking to myself, we always say the new normal, but really it shouldn't be the new normal, because I don't know about you, but if I'm going to sneeze, I cover my mouth, but I do the vampire, right?
Yeah.
So I do that out of respect for people naturally. But I got to tell you though, if I'm sick, like if it's a normal day, like 2-3 years ago, if I was sick, I would just go shopping like normal.
Yeah.
So I think hopefully this opens up our eyes and says, wait a minute, even if you have the flu or even if you have a runny nose, maybe it's better to, at that point, grab your mask, since everyone on the planet has a mask now.
Yeah.
Intake more vitamin C, go get a shot if you have to. I mean, do whatever you got to do to take care of yourself, because we're not really taking illnesses seriously. We're kind of spoiled, right?
Yeah.
In the country, because we have, 100, 200 years ago, 300, there was smallpox and, measles and all this shit, but vaccines has helped us eradicate a lot of that stuff.
Definitely.
So really the only thing that kills us is the flu. And even that we have a vaccine for. So if we didn't have one for that, I mean, it's fair to say a lot of the population wouldn't be immune to it, because I think I'm immune to it because, I got the shot when I was a kid, and it's probably in my, you know what I mean? There's a lot of variables on it, but everyone's different. But I think we have to it's not that this is the new normal. I think we need to get out of the habit of saying that. It's like we just weren't doing enough.
Yeah, we were mainly about ourselves, and that's the mentality we're in nowadays. I think more or less with social media kind of exploding, everyone's like me, instant gratification. Like, who cares about other people? I'm going to worry about me because no one else is going to worry about it. So once you get that group mentality of that, then we kind of go down that screwed rabbit hole. So if you kind of worry about yourself, but you also need to be cognizant of other people and everything else. And if you do that as a community, I feel we'll be better off. And then two, we have all this instant like delivery services. Well, if you're sick, I need to go get this sandwich. Okay, go pay the delivery fee or whatever, $2, get it delivered to your house. And I was like, now you can be saving people.
Exactly. That's a great point. Yeah, and you brought up a good point with social media and stuff. I think it's also like one of those funny things we kind of brought on ourselves to where we're so like we do like that instant gratification, but a lot of that has to do with the programs that we watch. Like you look at Instagram stories and that shit's only what, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever it is. Yeah. So I caught myself just the other day, and I don't know if you could relate to this, but like I'll look at the Instagram story, and before they finish talking, I'll just kind of like scroll to the next person. Like I don't even wait for someone to finish a full sentence because I'm bored already, and it's been like 3 seconds. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like,
if they're not grabbing your attention quick enough, it's not an explosion, some sort of, I guess, with everyone else, like some sort of nudity or something where it's like, oh, hey, hold on, let me grab your, like clickbait stuff.
Like if I don't have, like if I don't have an OnlyFans.com page, like I'm not good enough or something. I mean, it's
exactly. I think I'm going to make one with me in a kilt eating.
That's actually a fantastic idea.
People just give me recipes and I'll cook them and eat them in a kilt.
God, that'd be great. Could you imagine like, yeah, like what if we just started our fans only page and we just had this group of folks that instead of like dirty, erotic porno type shit, it was just like eating and working out.
I'm down. We'll just share like the username and then just passwords and like you got Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, whatever. I got Saturday. Like, all right, cool. And then we just divvy it up at the end of the month.
That's not a horrible idea. Yeah, you know, but I think it's not only is it that, but people aren't. They can't grab the attention fast enough, or they're not using like critical thinking. You know, I was talking to my buddy about this the other day, where they're not looking at both sides of things. You know, because sometimes people are always so even non-political. Sometimes people just don't hear other people out, and sometimes they just want to put out their own information because they think it's correct. But instead of, that's why I love podcasting, is because I don't know everything by any means, but the little things I do know about, I like to talk about, but then stuff I don't know about, I like to learn about, so that way I can talk about that in the future. And I just don't think people are doing that enough. They're not getting both sides and using critical thinking to learn different shit. So
they don't do their research, and they just spew out pretty much whatever they're interested in and everything. And if you're not on their agenda, you're wrong. Well, I'm not here to argue. I'm just here to kind of tell you my opinion, my views on your topic, and we can discuss, debate, a friendly debate, not an argument. There's a difference, and people, I feel, don't know that fine line. They're like, as soon as you come up with something opposing, it's automatically you're attacking them. And I'm like, I'm not attacking you. I'm just telling you my opinion of what I experience, or my own experiences of that topic. And so I think if you can learn from others and kind of take that step back and take that corrective criticism, but it's just, I don't get people sometimes. Right?
Yeah, dude, opinions they're not really, they're not sought after as much as we'd like, right? Like people don't appreciate opinions as much anymore. Like I can't remember the last time I had a conversation that wasn't recorded on a podcast, that wasn't like genuine, to where if I had a disagreement, because I like to think I'm not, unless it's like on Call of Duty, I'm not too aggressive when it comes to conversation. Usually I'm pretty open-minded. I like to hear people's side of things. And there was a few conversations that I'll have with buddies, and they'll give me their opinion on, like, you know, I'll just say going out to dinner. Hey, I want to go to this place. And they'll give me their criticism, and then I'll just tell them, well, I mean, yeah, maybe, but why don't we try this place instead? And they're like, no, we're just going to go here. And I'm like, wait, so we don't even want to talk about it? Like, you're just going to, you know, it's one of those weird, it's one of those weird things where it's me, like you said. But if everyone is thinking that and acting like that, that's the reason why we have so many people that are divided right now, because everyone just thinks they're right and just, you know, don't hear anybody out.
There's always someone bigger, smarter, stronger than you, healthier, whatever, everything else. There's always someone on another tier than you, and you can't think that you're the only one. That's the huge problem with society now, is they're, like we stated, like everyone's about themselves. It's just, I don't know. I'm that person where I'll give you the last dollar in my bank account, the last shirt on my back, as long as we get the greater good. I was like,
Exactly.
I'll make money. I'll find a way to get clothes. I'll find a way to do something. And it's just easier to think that way of helping others and not stressing about yourself too much.
Yeah, dude. No, it's a great way to put it. And it's unfortunate because it's kind of ironic that everyone's worried about themselves, but they don't think like long term themselves, right? Like, the one thing I try to do every single day, whether it's working out, whether it's work, this podcast, my hobbies, whatever it is, I always try to compete with myself. And I always try to
Mm-hmm.
be like the best version of me every single day.
Yeah.
And I think it was Jordan Peterson. I don't know if you listen to him, but he's got his own podcast.
Okay.
Um, Really cool dude. And he's a philosopher. Or excuse me, I think is he a psychiatrist? Yeah, I think he's got a PhD in psychiatry. Jordan Peterson, Jordan B. Peterson, I think. And
Mm-hmm.
I got his book. I think it's called 12 Rules to Life.
Okay.
12. Yep, it's down there. 12 Rules to Life. But he's incredible because one thing he said that really resonated with me years ago when I read that book was wake up every day and you don't have to be satisfied with what's around you. Be
Mm-hmm.
satisfied of, are you going to be better than you were yesterday? And
Yeah.
if you do that every single day, you're on the right
Better.
track.
Yeah. Just be a one. It's 1% better than the previous day. You're moving forward, and that's how like part. I kind of start my day that way. It was a SEAL, an admiral, I think McRaven. He was this admiral. He gave this huge speech, and he's like, "Start your day off by making your bed." So that way you start your day
Mm,
off with doing something productive. So no matter what, I always start my day off by making my bed because then I feel like it's organized. And now I'm starting off on a high note where I'm like, all right, bed's good. I can move on. Because if you have a messy bed, messy room, it's just because that's supposed to be your sanctuary, pretty much, where that's
yeah.
your decompression place. And if it's a mess and kind of out of sorts, then it's you kind of can't come down from the day or even start the day off on a low note of just relaxation.
Yeah, dude, you need to definitely, that's great advice. You need to go check out Jordan Peterson on YouTube because he talks a lot about that metaphorically cleaning your room. But
Mhm.
obviously, literally as well, it works
Yeah.
in to your point. But yeah, he talks about cleaning your room to where you got to think of your room like your brain is your room, right?
Mhm.
And you only have X amount of space in that brain.
Yeah.
And if it's cluttered with negative shit, with bullshit, with
Yeah.
your friend's negative comment that they just posted on your Instagram page, like if it's filled with all that stuff, you actually don't have any space for positive stuff and new
Mhm.
ideas and critical thinking and
Yeah.
family time and hobbies, and you don't have time for the good stuff because you're filled with bullshit. So he talks about every morning, whether it's meditation or in your case, to your point, is literally get up, clean your room, get organized. That could be a form of meditation to clear things
Mhm.
out and be fucking ready for the day. Be ready to rock it, but be
Yeah.
clean.
And
Be
going on
you
to
know,
that point of like with the negative energy, all that stuff in your head, then that leads to where we're at now, where it's stressors, which compromises your immune system, because then you're on a negative downfall, and there you go. You're not going to come back if you keep going this negative attitude. That causes your body to stress, which brings down your immune system, which makes you susceptible to every other thing out there.
yep. And
So
if people don't think stress is like a killer, stress is the real deal. Like I'm even I'm even confident for me when I think of stress, I don't even like stress is not the correct word. There should be a new word to invent because I feel like stress
mhm.
is very, you know, played out.
Yeah,
Like the actual word stress cuz someone like has a rough day at work and they're like, "Oh, I'm so stressed today." No. No, you're not. It's just work,
yeah,
man. Like
yeah.
you have no fucking idea what stress is. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure you know what stress is better than I do.
It's
Especially
a different form of stress or
right.
stressors.
Exactly.
And
That's why
I mean, you run businesses. I don't,
right.
but I maintain weapon systems for the military that need to be top notch, on par when we go into battle.
Mhm.
Different stressors. It's
Different
it's
stress.
subjective to everyone's lifestyle, and
Yeah.
so yes, I could say mine is can be higher, because more lives are at stake. But if you go into the mentality, you have to take care of yourself. And if your businesses aren't doing well, then you can't take care of yourself. You can't take care of Brenda. That's a huge stressor. So it's literally,
yeah,
I don't know.
different
Anyone
stresses.
wants to say it's just how you want to word it and how it affects you personally in your life.
Yeah.
I think
And that's why
philosophy of
yeah.
you may not be able to control the situation, but you can control how you react to it. That's what I had to kind of put in my head a few years ago because I was always stressed out. Like it was just horrible. And I finally took a step back and learned to deal with it that way.
Yeah, dude. No, that's great advice. You can't control what happens, but how you react to it. That's what you can control. Yeah. And that's why I think stress needs to be, that's the word that we use now, but we need to think of like a different word. We need to invent a new word that actually means like, life threatening, because stress is such an important thing that, I mean, the Crohn's disease that I have, my doctors told me that stress is more of a factor than eating. So meaning, so if I get stressed out, my body reacts and I'll have an attack, like a Crohn's attack, more so than if I, cause I'm vegan and I eat vegan to be more healthy to maintain my symptoms, and it helps. But they're like, you can eat a cheeseburger every single day and the odds of you having an attack for that is smaller than you just being stressed out for the weekend. You'll have an attack that way. And I'm like, whoa.
Looks like you got to come to the West Coast and then visit us in California when I go back, and we'll go get some In-N-Out burgers, and there you go.
Oh my God, I used to love In-N-Out burgers though, bro. Oh God, I miss those.
I miss Steak and Shake, man. They don't have that out here.
Yeah, Steak and Shake is great. Of course we got that. Steak and Shake is good, and In-N-Out's good. There used to be this one awesome place I used to go to in North Carolina. Shout out to the Carolinas out there. Is the Cookout. I don't know if you ever heard of it. You heard of Cookout?
Oh, God, yeah. They were there when I was stationed in Virginia, and
yep, they're all the way up top.
The burgers, that was so good,
bro. No one knows Cookout. Cookout is the bomb, and it was cheaper than In-N-Out and Steak. It was like $6, and you get like a bag of just whatever you wanted.
Yeah. Did you try their cheer wine?
Hell yeah, bro.
Okay. Just making sure.
Cheer wine was so money. Good. That was that might have been the first time I've had that. Now that I think about it, cheer wine in the fountain was the first time, or maybe it was the bottle. I don't remember. I think it was the bottle. I had it there.
It's just so good.
It is, dude, and you can't really find it anywhere. Cheer wine. It's big up in Carolina and like Virginia and all that, but I don't even know if do they have it in the West Coast?
No,
not at all.
They don't even have In-N-Out in Seattle. Like, we don't even have that.
What do you have up there? Just BK and BK Lounge and Mickey D's?
There's a few. Oh, what it is? It's called Dick's. All right.
No, it's not.
I'm not even joking. I was like, oh my God. And
excellent.
Like, let's go try it. I'm gonna put some dicks in my mouth.
Tell me they serve hot dogs.
Oh, I didn't even check. I don't even know.
Because that's a missed opportunity if they don't.
I think they do, but the menu is not customizable. So they have like the single burger or whatever, and so it's literally, it comes how it's ordered on the screen, and so you just go and it's like, I'm not a huge fan of mustard, but I wanted a double cheeseburger, and so mustard came on it. And they're like, yeah, we don't customize this. I was like, all right, cool. I'll get a double cheeseburger with the fries and a shake, and it was like $5, $6 maybe.
Oh,
it was delicious. It was like a mix of In-N-Out and Steak and Shake, like combination.
Wow! Shout out to Dick's.
Yeah, they were good. The first time I ever had it.
So I think it's fair to say live here on Facebook and on the podcast that it's just good when dicks are in your mouth.
I concur. Coming from the sailor.
Oh wait, I just said it too. Someone's gonna grab that soundbite and blackmail me one day.
I'll just game clip you're playing sometimes and blackmail you on that.
Speaking of which, are you able to? I mean, I haven't played Call of Duty in a while, but are you able to like at least calm down, soak up some hobbies, work out a little bit? Like, are you doing stuff to keep you sane?
Working out. Yeah, I mean, Call of Duty does get my blood pressure going at times, but it's funny because it is my relaxation where I can just kind of chill out and not worry about anything. And then
Snipe people.
I like
Yeah.
driving around, seeing all the different scenery around here because I don't go to the Pacific Northwest, and so all the trees and the weather and stuff. Right now it's like 40 degrees and it's a little like muggy out, but it's beautiful and just kind of going off on my own. That's like my zen. And just kind of go out in nature and view all that stuff, and so it's not
Sick,
too
man.
bad.
Yeah, it looked nice. A few of the posts that, or a few of the videos I saw, I mean, it looks really nice. Was that, I think you posted something the other day. You were like on a walkway or something on the water. Where was that? Is that near your crib?
Uh, what? There
Yeah.
was a couple like it was like a month ago because there was a couple of them I posted. It was on my drive up from San Diego. So I was driving through
Oh,
like, Oregon. There was the pier area where it was like a fishing wharf or whatever. That was near like my hotel. And then
oh,
near
cool.
here, there's a few walkways and parks and stuff on the waterway. And then I
Nice.
got a great view from the ship onto the like inlet area, and so you can see like all the trees and the fall changing. It's pretty cool. It's very tranquil, and you just don't realize how much nature plays a role in your mental stability.
Dude, it's so true. Yeah, it
Yeah,
makes a
nature
big
plays a
difference.
role.
Yeah, man. I mean, when we were out, last big trip we went was Utah, and we did the Zion National Park and shit like that, and just being in that environment and not having your phone, and
Yeah,
of course I had the camera because I had to take some dope pictures, but uh, just like being out there and listening to the birds, hearing the
mhm.
wind hit the leaves, seeing the different colors and the sky merges with the mountain, and just
Yeah,
that type of like sensory shit that goes on with your eyeballs and you've never experienced it before. It's
yeah.
it's it's pretty magical, and people don't if you haven't experienced stuff like that where you just look around and it's four walls of nature. It's like you
You're surrounded.
yeah, dude,
It's
you get some perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the wife and I, we kind of because I know everyone, we get into that rabbit hole of social media on our phones constantly, tech neck, just doing all that, and it's inevitable. It's going to happen because it's at our fingertips. But we've kind of taken a step back when we're on trips or noticing moments, things we want to be like, hey, let's go take a picture, and we're viewing it through the peephole of our phone and not actually viewing it with our own eyes. And so I was like, just telling her, I was like, hey, let's just not just take pictures of everything. Like, let's enjoy this moment of either our dog's playing something cute that we don't need to take a picture or share, or the scenery. And then if I really do enjoy it, I'll take it after I actually enjoy it. And then be like, all right, cool, this is nice. And that's
Yeah.
normally what I am doing now. It's just viewing it from myself, taking it in, and then, all right, cool, I'll take a picture. That's nice.
That's a good idea, man. Yeah, soak it in first. Yeah,
Yeah.
we ended up doing that when we took some fall pictures. Where we just kind of went out by our community and shit, and
Mhm.
we made a promise. We're like, hey, this is the new community, right? It's the new house
Mhm.
that we're at. It's like right down the street. There was a little bit of foliage, but it's Florida foliage, so it's not a whole lot. And
Yeah.
we told ourselves, we're like, let's put the phones, let's keep those in the car. I'll bring the digital camera, and if we want to take a picture, we could take a picture. But then we're not like hurrying up to post it on Instagram or share it on our stories, or we just
Yeah.
kind of we said, hey, we'll capture a picture of it. That's fine. And if we want to look at it, we'll look at it once. But it's so funny when we did that, we didn't actually want to review the picture. We just
Hmm.
like we took the picture and then we just sat back and just enjoyed nature, and we never
Right.
reviewed it, but I think because our phone is on our fingertips, and
Yeah.
we're able to like put it on Snapchat and TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, and there's so much
Yeah.
stuff. Like you could spend 20 minutes posting one picture, and then once you post something, then what happens? You end up, oh, Susan ended up putting something on her story. Let me fucking check that out. And then you end up getting hooked on
Yeah.
that. It's like, it's not cool, man.
Yeah. I realized like when I keep it up here in this catalog, I can actually like refer back to it easier. And I noticed that certain smells, sceneries, everything, it'll remind me of certain things, of places and everything I've been to if I haven't
Mm,
taken a picture of it. If I just sat in it and just absorbed everything, I can recall it whenever it arises, like a certain smell, like I said. But if I usually take it with a phone, I don't really recall it. Like I'm like,
Right.
oh, I think I took a picture, and I was like, I don't remember. And so it's a different dynamic of how
Yeah.
your brain works compared to how your fingertips work. Like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, we took a picture, we went to this place. But if you actually get consumed by it, it
Yeah.
actually stays a lot longer in that data bank.
Yeah, that's so true, man. And it's just better.
Yeah,
It's way better.
it's just easier, and it's just I want to upgrade my phone, but I'm like I don't need to, and I was like I don't need the newest and greatest because I'm a
Yeah.
tech nerd. But I'm like one, I was like I don't want to spend the money, and then I was like, but I'm always going to be consumed by it now, and I finally got to that point where I'm not constantly on it.
Yeah, but damn, dude, this, and that's kind of the hard thing is we tell ourselves that we don't want to be consumed by it, but they're just so fucking awesome. Like,
They are,
phones are awesome. Social media is great. I mean,
yeah,
whoever invented memes, the first meme, I mean, shout out to that guy or girl, but
legend. Little girl's a legend.
dude, it makes our day, man. Like that type of shit wouldn't be available if we didn't have our phones. And it's like, you
Yeah.
hate it, but if you have the self-control like you do with working out,
Mm-hmm.
and you tell yourself you're going to work out an hour a day, you're going to do this each day, that's 7 hours a week. And if you tell yourself I'm only going to spend 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night on my phone or whatever that number is, and if you be disciplined and control yourself just like you are
Yeah.
when you go in public, you have to wear clothes, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't have to, but it's frowned upon if you don't. So we got kind of in the habit of like getting dressed and putting on shoes and going outside. Well, now I've realized that I have to get myself in the habit of like putting my phone in another room, and
Yeah.
especially when I go to bed, get it away from my nightstand so I don't grab it before I go to bed and look at stuff. But we got to get disciplined and we got to get focused, and that keeps us, I think if you do that, it also keeps you away from all that negative shit too. You're more
Yeah.
open-minded to stuff. So
I try to stay with negativity and people ranting and raving. It's always just negative comments. I'm like, it's like, how are you living your life? How is that joyful of just posting negativity all the time and complaining? I was like, I just don't like every once in a while, yes, I'll complain. We're all guilty of it.
of course.
But I'm not constantly just digging at the psyche of like the negativity. And I'm just like,
Yeah, and we're always going to have things that we complain about, but we just, shit's so good, man. Like, what are you really complaining about? Like, people on Facebook are complaining, that they go to Publix and they were out of like their favorite beer or something. It's like,
yeah,
motherfucker, some states or some countries, some people don't even have clean water. And you're fucking
yeah,
bitching about your IPA that's out of stock. Like, chill out.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, I bitched about the other day about my gym. I was like, oh, this gym is so unmotivating because it's not my strongman gym. It's a military gym, and
Of course.
it was desolate. It was not that atmosphere, and um, my wife pretty much was like, "Stop being a pussy." And then my other friend, um, Val, who we played with on Call of Duty,
Right
she's
on.
like, "Be thankful." And I was like, "I am." And she's up in Canada, doesn't have a gym to work out in because they're all closed. And I was just like, "Yeah, I'm just complaining a little bit just because I just wanted to vent, but I'm still super thankful. I'm still able to work out in a facility, and I
Huge.
don't take it for granted. It's just at that moment, I was just like, oh, man,
Yeah, event. Yeah.
yeah." And so it's just that one off where it's like boom, done. And now it's I'm like, okay, cool. I got to get shit done.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's okay to do, I think. And as long as you understand it,
Yeah,
afterwards and, you say, well, all right, it's okay to bitch about something, but as long as you can appreciate it. We talked about that when we gave thanks last night. I had my mother-in-law over for dinner.
oh, yeah, I saw that. It looked nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate it, man. Thanks. The wife did a good job decorating, and they cooked up some food, and
Yeah,
yeah, it
your
was
pulled
awesome.
cookie or whatever it was, your little roll of meat.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's pretty much a pea protein base.
Okay.
With oils, and it's got stuffed instead of actual stuffing. It's stuffed with rice and beans, and it's made of tofu.
Mm-hmm.
So they season it with vegetable broth and what else is in there? Like paprika, just a lot of, good, flavorful, spicy things. So it's kind of like it doesn't taste like a turkey by any means, but it tastes like, almost like if you were to take turkey and put it in gravy and leave it overnight.
Okay.
That flavor is definitely very powerful. But it's tofu, so it's a little bit chewier, obviously, than
Tofu's not bad.
turkey.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's not bad, but that's one thing we really talked about was it kind of sucks because not only Ken and Brenda's dad, because he's a vet, he's in a VA hospital, he's old, so he's he's not doing too well, but they won't let us see him because of COVID.
All right.
So yeah, that's horrible. It's bad. It's horrible for everybody. But one thing we talked about and that we cheersed about was even though he's not here, we got a chance to FaceTime him right before dinner.
Yeah.
So be thankful of the technology that we do have. That other countries. I mean, if we were in Madagascar, I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know if this is true.
Korea.
Or North Korea, that's better. Where North Korea, you're physically don't you go to prison or something if you use social media?
You can't. They block it.
They block Google. They don't have Google, right?
They block the internet.
Oh, the entire internet.
Yeah, it's I think only internet area is Pyongyang, wherever the capital is.
For citizens.
And I think that it's just like the high ups and dignitaries and all that stuff that can have internet, they only get like an hour a day or something like that, but they completely block whatever they want. I was like, I just feel bad.
That's horrible. Yeah, and that's the one thing we were saying was there's some countries that don't even know what FaceTime is, and here we're able to FaceTime with our sick, their father, my father-in-law, and it's like it's shitty, but we got to be thankful for what we have, and this is kind of where we're at, and I just think we got to do that with a lot more other things than just that. There's got to be some type of thankfulness with everything we do.
That's where I'm at. Hopefully everything stays the same or calms down. As I'm trying to go home for Christmas.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Do you get some days off?
Yeah, I have a ton of leave in the bank because we weren't allowed to go anywhere because of COVID. And so they pretty much banned travel for military personnel. And finally, with the holidays, they're like, all right, we're going to let you guys go. And so I'm fortunate enough to go home, see my wife and my dogs and my in-laws, all that stuff. I don't want to head home to Florida. That one, that's a long trip. Two, my parents are just recovering. Well, my dad is recovering from COVID. My mom still has it. And she finally just broke her fever today. So, which is good. Shout out to the Mama Dukes. She's doing good.
Awesome.
So I don't want
how bad were her symptoms? Or their symptoms?
Fever for over a week.
Oof. Wow. That's crazy.
So she was trying to break it and had some phlegm, and they're worried about possibly pneumonia. I was going to say bronchitis, but pneumonia. So I talked to her this morning. She sounded really good, and
great.
So they're trying their best, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to try and travel home during that and risk if I get it, and even though I'm asymptomatic or whatever it is, I could pass on to them, and just second round is probably going to be 10 times worse when their immune system's already compromised. And my wife was actually supposed to come out this week, but we just decided it wouldn't be the smartest idea with COVID because she'd come here, leave tomorrow, then 3 days later go see family for Thanksgiving. And I was like, God forbid she has it with the travel and then passes it on to them. Yeah. I was like, just let's not do that with what's going on. So we're very fortunate that we are, like you said, have the FaceTime, all that stuff, so I can FaceTime them during Thanksgiving and my family during Christmas. And so I just got to take the little things and appreciate it.
Dude, yeah, cheers to you, man. And a lot of people would probably end up just powering through and saying, hey, I'm just going to take the risk and do it. It's not that big of a deal. It's just COVID, you know. But, kudos to you for doing that. And glad the family's doing better.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, me too, man.
That's awesome, dude. Well, hey, listen, man. I'm already at 120, an hour and 20 minutes.
Look at that. Look at you.
I had to wait for your ass,
Blame the government Wi-Fi.
Oh, I do, buddy.
I do. That's what I do.
Every single day I blame the government for taking Tony away.
Please write the letter to your nearest congressman.
And what? So for people that don't know, what branch of Gov are you in?
Navy, United States Navy.
Navy. Shout out.
Going 12 years strong.
Wow, good for you, man. Appreciate what you do for the country, man.
Oh, it's my pleasure, man. It's I love what I do, and it's good knowing that I make a difference, even though I don't fully see it directly, but knowing in the long run I make that difference, and that's what means the most to
me. As my man Tony Montana said, we need people like you.
You know it.
You know. Okay, man.
All right, brother.
So if you want, why don't you shout out your tags if people want to follow you? You got a dope ass Tesla that people need to check out.
Oh, you had to bring that up. I'm not that dope. It's okay.
It's a pretty dope Tesla.
Yeah. So, but my tag is Munky MUNKY_fitness. You'll see some random memes, and I don't take sides on anything. And a lot of fitness and strongman. We'll do another podcast with our boy Angel, doing some strongman stuff. Kind of maybe broaden the horizon of strongman, get it out there more, and with your podcast.
Yeah, dude.
Across.
That'd
and then
be
I'm going to give a shout out to my people at Cerberus.
Ooh.
Cerberus. They got the neck gator, and then the dope hoodie, the all black.
Oh, that's gangsta.
There's the ones that are helping me with my competitions and stuff, giving me all the salts, chalk, wrist wraps, elbow sleeves, all that. And if you want, you can use my code Munky10 MUNKY10 for 10% off free shipping.
Nice. What site did they go to? Where do they go?
Cerberus Strength, just like the three-headed dog monster. Cerberusstrength.com.
Awesome.
And just look it up, and they got great stuff, great quality, and really good people.
Sick, man. And they do that. That's all your fitness gear, your chalk, your wraps, all that.
Chalk, they do liquid chalk, regular chalk, Atlas Stone tacky, brass belts, shorts, beanies, socks, sandbags. Yeah, you do it. They got it. You name it, they got it pretty much.
Oh, sick. So, yeah, I might go check that out myself then.
Yeah, definitely good. Just let me know. I'll hook you up.
Yeah, dude. I got to add to that garage gym. She's getting stout.
Oh, I know. I saw it. It's looking mighty fine. Looking mighty fine.
Pretty good.
Pretty decent.
Hey, but dude, thanks for hopping on, man. It was good chatting with you. And
I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it again for sure.
Definitely. I'll see you soon. You guys have good out there on the Insta Googles.
Later, bro. Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
Later.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Anthony and Gracia. That was my boy. Play Call of Duty with him, and strongman amateur bodybuilder. So definitely a cool guy. Make sure you follow him. And then before that, we had Jason Manchester, which, I've had podcasts before. He's got his own podcast, so you could follow him at jason-manchester.com, and you could check out his podcast. And his wife has a really cool blog on Instagram as well. If you're interested in, some healthy recipes, she does some really cool stuff there. So I'll leave the links for all this in the description and all that. But before we get out of here, though, I do want to thank some sponsors. So if you guys don't know, Superfat is one of my go-tos. Not only is Superfat great for nut butter, if you're obsessed with nut butter like I am, because they're actually good fats. So they're made of macadamians and almonds, not peanut butter. It's actually the good nuts, which are like, again, they use the coconut, MCT oils, no added sugar. It's just overall a really great product. And I love their stuff because it's portable, the nut butters, and it's also vegan and paleo and keto friendly. So it's great for a little snack on the go, or if you just want to have something in between your meals. Superfat nut butter is great for that. But I am super stoked, if you're looking here on YouTube or Facebook, that they just came out with more keto cookie bites, which are some of my go-tos. And they came out with keto brownie mix and keto pancake mix. So I am a super super big fan of these. I'm going to be posting some recipes here in the coming days, especially right before Thanksgiving. Me and the wife are going to cook some stuff up, but oh man, I love this stuff. I'm always looking for something to kind of crave my sweet tooth, but brownies and pancakes are like some of my guilty pleasures, and I stopped eating them, especially being vegan and, watching how many carbs I intake and the sugar intake. What's great about these is they're actually made with coconut flour, so there's no added sugar to them, so they still have a sweet taste, not that artificial crap a lot of companies use. Superfat uses all good ingredients, so I would definitely encourage you to check out superfat.com. You can use the code Berardo10 if you want a discount. And again, superfat.com, they don't just have baking mixes, but they got nut butters, they got keto cookie bites, they literally have all types of stuff. So I think you'll like it if you go to superfat.com and use the code Berardo10. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for you. Thanks for those who liked, thanks for those who commented. And if you're not listening or watching this on Facebook now, I am going to post this everywhere you hear podcasts. So Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all that jazz. I'm going to post this podcast just like I normally do all my other episodes. You can find it at theberardo.com. This one will probably be live next week, but I just posted a new one this past weekend. So visit theberardo.com and you can check out all my latest podcast. So I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. I had a blast doing this. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, and I want to continue to do these. So feel free to subscribe at theberardo.com. Leave a comment, leave a review. It would mean the world to me. But that is all I got. So everyone have a great week. Happy Thanksgiving. Love you guys. Peace.